Okay, so OpenText, I think you fairly recently published the results of your Global Managed Security survey. And I think the main finding, perhaps no surprises, bearing in mind the world and his wife has gone sort of AI crazy, but you did sort of find that the anticipation, expectation of AI-enabled security solutions was, everyone was expecting them to make an impact at this stage. So perhaps you can just confirm if that was the case and expand on it, perhaps.
I think you're absolutely spot on. There is definitely an AI hype cycle. At least the term AI is definitely prevalent in everything you see in the press and read in marketing. Personally, I hate the term. I think the key underlying value of AI is really automation. And so automation is really what is driving this need for these new tools, and is certainly causing vendors to invest in those kinds of resources and those capabilities. So it's about automating the whole security lifecycle. It's about putting an automated response or an automated set of tasks or activities in a proactive sense, so that the tool is doing the heavy lifting of doing the monitoring. That's really where the value is. And it's especially important for the MSP market because they're serving many, many different diverse customers. You don't often find MSPs focusing on a particular vertical or particular channel. You never really know what's going to walk through the door from an MSP's perspective. So having a tool that is out of the box, able to deliver that automatic response to cybersecurity threats is really what it's at. So yes, we may label it as AI, but under the covers, it is a combination of large learning models, machine learning, proactive insights, based on data that is automatically being churned through by the technology built into the product.
Okay, and alongside the sort of the focus on AI or as automation, as you sort of explained more, there's also still the need for MSPs, the survey revealed, to provide composable security solutions for their customers. So that's still an important area on which to focus. Yeah.
I love the term composable. That's exactly what it is that we're trying to do and what I think will benefit the markets. MSPs often talk about, they want an a la carte menu of services, and they just want to be able to pick from the a la carte menu the bits and pieces they need to meet the customer's requirements, rather than walking into a buffet and being expected to order, fill your plate with everything that's on the table. So this composable nature of services, when you go into a customer and you do an assessment and it turns out that they are industry regulation heavy, then what composable services can I add into that customer's portfolio to meet those compliance requirements? Or if I've got a very data intensive customer, what are the best backup solutions to handle those volumes of data? And it's being able to cherry pick these composable comparts to build the tools to deliver the security posture that those individual customers are looking for. So composability, I think it's a great term, and it's very much what we're building into our platform.
Okay, and in terms of the survey revealing the biggest challenge for the MSPs and MSSPs, we are back to AI and the fact that they're expecting or wanting to be able to provide AI-based cybersecurity, or I say you may again explain that it's not so much AI specific, but the automation. But yeah, just in what ways is that a challenge for them, I suppose?
So there's a huge list of MSP challenges, right? We could spend all day talking about the different challenges facing an MSP. And you're right, it's not AI per se. It's making sure that the tooling you select has got AI. And then how do they interoperate together? If I take a solution or a number of solutions from one vendor, I need to know that they're going to interoperate with the solutions that I have from another vendor. So interoperability and understanding which solution works with the other, I think, is going to be the fundamental challenge for MSPs going forward. As we bake AI capabilities in, and a trigger is triggered in one system, I want to know that that trigger is going to be received by the corresponding tool, perhaps from another vendor, and that tool is going to be able to take action based on that trigger. So interoperability between these composable services is where it's at. It's the same way that software developers were talking about, modular code and composable scripts. It's the same challenge that we have here. Can a tool set that I get from one vendor seamlessly interoperate with another vendor? That's where I really think the challenge is going to be.
Although bearing in mind that this next question from the survey, that may become less of a challenge because as I understand it, there is a desire to deal with less and less security vendors. And indeed, I mean, in an age when, if you like, people are talking more, seem to want more heterogeneity. In this case, it seems that the ideal scenario is dealing with just one security vendor. So just your thoughts, I suppose, as to why that might be the case and if that is a sort of good place to end up.
So I represent a vendor, and I represent a vendor that has a portfolio of solutions. And in an ideal world, I want my MSP partners to come and I want them to sign up to me and I want them to consume every single service that I have in my portfolio. But that's just pipe dream. The reality is that an MSP partner is going to have a myriad of customers, and each one of those customers is going to have a myriad of different tools already in situ. And so this expectation that we're going to just walk through the door and rip and replace everything in the security landscape and start from scratch on day zero is just, like I said, a pipe dream. So this interoperability is important because our solutions need to work with the solutions that are already in place. The composability, being able to lift one solution in and one solution out and being able to mix and match them from solutions from other vendors is going to be there. So yes, customers and partners are trying to rationalize and consolidate their products, their tool sets, and their vendors. But the reality is there's a huge amount of sunken cost and effort already in place at the end customer that you're simply not going to rip and replace. So on the one hand, we have this utopia idea that we have one portfolio to rule them all. But the simple fact of the matter is no one vendor is going to solve every problem for every customer. And there's going to be some degree of interoperability and composable attitudes that need to be taken.
And in terms of the proposition that OpenText has, I think it's the Cybersecurity Cloud Platform, I think current version 2.0. It'd just be good, I suppose, to understand a bit more about that, and also in particular, bear in mind what we've talked about, how that does help address some of those issues that, in terms of interoperability, automation and the like, I guess.
That's right. So we call our platform Secure Cloud, and it's a tool for MSPs to be able to provide services from. It's not a security tool per se, but into that platform, we have a number of security solutions, both on the proactive data security side and on the reactive data recovery side. And the purpose of this tool is to give exactly what we've been speaking about to the MSP, the ability to cherry pick solutions from our portfolio, seamlessly deploy them into the field, and not only provision them and configure them, but also manage, monitor, meter, and bill for them. So it is a billing and management platform built in one, giving the ability to compose the right solutions for the right partner based on their requirements, and then making sure that these tools interoperate not only with themselves inside our portfolio, but also have hooks and interoperability capabilities with third-party vendors. Because as we've discussed, there's no such thing as a greenfield site when it comes to data security or data protection for that matter. Every customer or every partner is going to have one tool or another in situ. So we need to make sure that our platform also plays with the tool sets outside us from third parties. So very exciting time for us. We've been operating Secure Cloud for the last 8 years. And this is the first significant update we've done to the platform. Now that all of our IT assets are together under OpenText, we have the ability to build this new platform. We're building in more products and services to be able to choose from a partner perspective. We're building in better, more streamlined billing, metering, monitoring, and managing capabilities. We're enabling it as a sales platform for MSPs to be easily to allow them to easily articulate the value of each service in that solution. And moreover, we are streamlining the operational overhead. So it now takes just a handful of clicks to be able to provision an endpoint solution into 10 customers, or a backup solution into 5 customers, or an MDR service across the entire state. So doing that in a handful of clicks rather than managing separate portals and separate consoles all over the place. So we've been in development now for the last, I would say, 18 months. And in November, we're actually bringing this to market. We've brought a first phase of releases to market already, but the real change, the new user interface, the new reports, the new GUIs, the new workflows for provisioning are all coming in November. And we're very, very excited about that.
Okay, you've discussed a lot of sort of capabilities, if you like, in this platform. But so it might seem a little unfair to focus on one, but as I understand it, you place a particular emphasis when it comes to detect and response as being very important, if not the crucial part of when it comes to cyber resilience. Is it right to pick on that, or are there other things that you need to be sort of emphasized as well? As I said, I know there's a lot going on, but just to sort of pick one or two highlights.
I think it's a critical component of what we're offering. As I've said before, we have the proactive data security solutions, which stop the bad things from happening. And we have a suite of solutions that enable partners to deliver that to their customers. If we take the approach that it's not a question of if something happens, it's a question of when something bad happens. We have the data protection portfolio, so ability to protect and recover data no matter where it is, whether it be on the endpoint or in the server or in the virtual environment or in a SaaS service. We need to be able to recover data quickly. So we're going to protect and we're going to recover. Central to that is detection. We have to know when something is going wrong. And so this detection capability sits squarely between the data security and the data protection portfolios. We made an acquisition recently of an organization called Pillr. Some of your audience may be aware of Pillr. It is a combined SIEM, SOC, and SOAR operations center for MSPs to be able to manage threats in real time at their customer site. And the unique selling feature of Pillr is its interoperability. It doesn't have a requirement on one set of data security solutions, nor one set of recovery solutions. It interops with over 500 different security providers out there. So this is a tool or is a capability, a managed detection and response capability that can slot into any environment, is not dependent on any underlying technologies. It works well with our products, obviously, but it works equally well with all the other main players out there in the marketplace. So squarely between this proactive set of tools and these reactive set of tools is this ability to detect when something is going wrong, where it's going wrong, and most importantly, take action. And going back to your first point, the action that we take is automatic. So we can build workflows into our Pillr MDR system that says, when you see this kind of behavior on these kinds of machines, take these sorts of actions. And those actions could range from simple isolation of that device from the network to escalation through the partner security stack, or even into our security analyst stack for further investigation. So completely composable, customizable workflows to take automatic action on threats that are seen as and when they're seen in the live environment. So we're very excited about this acquisition. We're just starting to see the fruits of that now. It is going to be baked into this new release of Secure Cloud that we're doing, and is going to be available for all partners to be able to introduce into their customer base. And really is the fulcrum, the hub of everything we're trying to do from a cybersecurity perspective at OpenText.
Okay, and the next question, so I must clarify, because you mentioned the acquisition of a company called Pillr, and I was then going to ask you, because I know you have, I think, 4 or 5 pillars, or if you like, sort of aspects on which you focus when it comes to cybersecurity, cyber resilience. And if I remember correctly, it's prevent, detection, remediation, compliance. And then I know you also sort of do a lot of work with Microsoft, which is a slightly sort of different pillar, but perhaps you can just expand on each of those for us.
Yeah, so we've been talking about, these pillars, prevention, detection, and remediation for a long time. It's only now with this recent acquisition, which is Pillr without the A in it. So it's PILLR. And of course, we'll probably rebrand that, as we like to do with all of our products in the near future. But this really ties together, as I was saying, these prevention features versus these restorative features. So I won't bore you to death about Pillr, because I've already just sort of, spilled the beans in terms of why we're so excited about that. But, compliance, rigorous interrogation of environments, the ability to detect these things as and when they go wrong is the forefront of any cybersecurity product. And then having the tool sets around that to be able to take action, whether that's, as I said, the isolation or the quarantine or the recovery, is critical. We do have also a very long-standing relationship with Microsoft. And anyone who works with Microsoft, which I must imagine is every single one of your audience, okay, understands that Microsoft is also making a strong play into the security division. So as well as partners being able to serve Microsoft licenses, Azure licenses, and Dynamics licenses directly from our secure cloud platform, all the tools that we have on the outside interoperate and work seamlessly with Microsoft. I'll give you an example. If I'm a Microsoft house and I've deployed Microsoft Defender into my environment, well, we're happy for you. We're glad that you're doing something that works for your customers. We don't need you to buy our solutions if you're happy with the Microsoft stack. But those Microsoft components, whether it be Azure or Intune or Microsoft Authentication Services or Defender, can feed telemetry back into our Pillr solution. So that means at the center of the OpenText stack, at the center of Secure Cloud, we have complete end-to-end visibility of the security events that are going on in your customer. So that openness, that composable infrastructure means we can work seamlessly with Microsoft. So for many partners, Microsoft is the center of the solution that they offer to their customers. We're giving you the ability to incorporate that together with our value-added services in and around Microsoft through Pillr and through the secure cloud platform. So that's all your billing in one place, all your metering in one place, all your support in one place, and giving you the ability to choose what is the right solution for your customer to deploy at their site. It may be a decision made on function, features and function. It may be a decision made on pricing and budget. So we don't go toe-to-toe with Microsoft on their solutions. We give the partner the opportunity to pick and choose the right set of tools based on feature, function, and budget for the customer at hand. So Microsoft is a critical part of the puzzle for us. And because it is baked into Secure Cloud and because we've had the long-standing relationship with Microsoft, we work seamlessly in that Microsoft ecosystem as well. So I think now is a critical time. When we spoke together a year ago, this was very much a pipe dream, but here we are 12 months down the line, and we're starting to see the benefits of these of the strategy come to fruition.
Okay, and just a couple more things to look at before we finish. You've already explained that November is the time of the big launch, but in terms of other future plans on the roadmap that you're able to share, just whether it's just the general direction of travel or specific solutions that might be out there, just be good to understand what it is you can tell us.
Absolutely. So I think I said this. I think I said this last year, right? OpenText will continue to be acquisitive. We will continue to look for solutions, tools, and markets out there that make sense for our MSP partners, and we will seek to bring them into this unified experience that we call Secure Cloud. I think that is a given. That is just the way that OpenText operates. But further to that, we're going to see incremental changes in the way that the interoperability works between our solutions. For example, Pillr, as we see threats coming in from our endpoint solutions or our DNS solutions or from our advanced email threat protection solutions, or indeed from the Microsoft ecosystem, as we see threats come in and evolve, that intelligence will feed into Bright Cloud. And for those of your audience who don't know what Bright Cloud is the underlying threat intelligence that was part of the Webroot acquisition many years ago that is being leveraged by the enterprise cybersecurity team at OpenText. So it is 10 years worth of threat intelligence, not only file signatures as you would expect, but most importantly, behaviors. So we have this continuous learning about the threats that are out there in the ecosystem. We'll bring the threat intelligence that Pillr creates and we'll push that into Bright Cloud. And then in turn, that intelligence will be fed out into our products. And so we'll have this closed loop of threat intelligence continually learning and identifying new threats that are created out there in the threat landscape, and then being able to reuse that data in the product itself and add value into the customer side. All of this happens through machine learning and automation. And so all of this is in near real time. For example, if we pick up a new threat, let's say in New Zealand, just because it's on the other side of the globe, that threat will be identified and that threat will be advertised back to all of our security solutions within 5 minutes. So that kind of automation and that kind of closed loop is only going to strengthen the solutions that we put inside Secure Cloud. We're very, very excited about how we can continue to grow that threat intelligence engine. There will be other incremental improvements in terms of provisioning and operations. we know that the MSP partner is often challenged with resources just to keep the lights on. So if we can take away some of the burden of provisioning, monitoring, and managing these solutions, automating alerts, automating ticket creation, automating proactive actions that we can take in a particular event that is customizable by the MSP, we can reduce the manpower burden on the MSP. We reduce that, they can go out there and focus on servicing their customers and generating more income. And so that's really the approach that we're taking. We want to remove the friction from the operational side of the business.
Okay, and maybe just finally, it'd be good to understand, we talked about the cybersecurity platform today, but that's just a part, if you like, of the overall OpenText company portfolio, which I don't know what you'd call it, an information management portfolio, information logistics, data, whatever. But it'd just be good to understand, I suppose, what you would describe as the advantages of being, able to access or being part of that wider overall portfolio, the advantages that it gives again I guess particularly to your channel partners.
Yeah, I think being part of a larger organization. So I represent OpenText Cybersecurity, and OpenText Cybersecurity, as you were saying, is just one of several divisions. In OpenText Cybersecurity, we have a small business focused organization. That's my organization that I work for, and that's the platform Secure Cloud. And that platform is servicing our MSP customers who are focused on small to medium enterprises. But we have a different division or a different group within cybersecurity, which is focused on enterprise. And they have enterprise solutions that are used at the Fortune 500 companies. We have footprints around the globe in all of the FTSE 100 and all of the global market leaders in terms of organizations who rely on our products and our services to keep their environment secure. So we benefit, our partners benefit, and our small to medium business customers benefit from being part of that larger organization. We're not with our head in the sand, just focused on what's happening at the low end of the market. We reap the benefit of having tools and customers in the high end of the market. And we can leverage, as we were talking about, threat intelligence. The same threat intelligence that is baked into Secure Cloud for small to medium enterprises is the same threat intelligence that is looking after the Fortune 500 customers. So we benefit from that respect. We are top to bottom, but we deliver services acutely or strategically focused on MSPs and small to medium businesses. So that's the first benefit. The second benefit of being part of a much bigger organization like OpenText, which has non-security related business units, such as enterprise content management, such as business networks, right? So the intercompany communication for wholesales, supply chains, those sorts of things. Being this behemoth of an organization that is generating billions of dollars of revenue gives us the buying power when it comes to creating solutions for our end customers, but also acquiring new technologies and keeping current. So those are the really two significant advantages of being part of the wider OpenText. We have an enterprise scale security business where we can leverage what's going on in the enterprise and bring that down market. And we have this buying power where we can acquire technologies or quickly pivot and shift depending on what the market is telling us to do. I think those are the two key benefits for OpenText to your audience.
Okay, it's been great to chat to you, and maybe we can catch up after the November launch and gauge a bit of reaction maybe from some of the channel stuff. But at least for now, I mean, as I say, it's been fantastic to chat. Some great insights as ever, and appreciate your time, because I know from your background, but you did say you're on holiday, so thank you very much for giving us the time to chat. Thank you.
So thanks so much, Philip. See you next year.